Hello everyone, welcome to the Ship Podcast. Let me introduce you to our hosts, Leo, Timothy, Brighton, and me, Martin. I hope you had a great day today, and I'm happy you could tune into our podcast. I hope you have a great time.
You sound like a pedophile.
That's so wrong. Right. This is episode 1 of the Shit Podcast. The podcast. Whatever the name ends up being in the end. And, if you're listening to me now, you probably know me. I'm Leonard. You probably know me from my music because I probably posted on my Insta. And I've got my co-host. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to my music now. Got my co-host Timothy Thai. Do you want to introduce yourself, big man?
Bitches ain't shit, man.
You know you don't need to get close to the mic to do that, right?
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, that's Timothy. Then we got next to me I got Brighton boy.
Hello. It's your boy.
You don't have to fucking get close.
Yeah,
Hey, you said after you just go close to
I
it.
have to speak.
I'm just getting up to myself to speak.
And last but not least, Martini.
Hello.
Yeah.
The only white guy on the podcast.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
I
Timothy.
made it, boys.
Disclaimer. Timothy, Brighton, and Leonard are black. So if you hear the N-word used or whatsoever, don't get offended. Or do we probably don't care.
Yeah, and if you could hear me say it, call 999.
Yeah. Cool. Alright. So my first topic today, I'm gonna steal it off. Well, the first topic we'll figure it out, but I'm gonna steal it off what we were talking about beforehand. It's about Gyal. Right? It's about Gyal. Before we start, it's an ambiguous question, right? It's a cringe question, but I actually think it's an important question. Do you guys believe love exists? I'm gonna say yes, but I want to hear.
Let's go one by one. So Leo says yes. Timothy.
Very controversial, right? But I say it does, but only once in your life. After that, it's just,
Nah. And when I say love, I mean love for a girl. I think you hate it.
Wait. Before we get into it, Brighton, what's yours?
I think love.
Brighton, you know you can say more comfortably, right?
What? I'm comfortable like this.
This guy's saying like he's in
I'm
prison.
chilling. They don't say
Man's
prison like
working out his
this.
abs.
Okay.
Yeah. But nah, I think love does exist. Obviously, love is an emotion, just like sadness or happiness. And I feel like it does. Like the concept of like true love, obviously, I don't think that exists.
Nope.
But like love in general, you can love people.
But that's love for people, but not love. You get me? Love for people is different. You get?
I mean for a girl.
Love for people and loving someone.
I have love for my dog. I don't want to fuck my dog.
No, yeah, but they don't necessarily equate.
They do.
You can love someone.
No,
I don't want to have sexual relations with them.
I have love for someone, but I don't love them like that. Yeah.
I feel like you don't love your mom.
I love my mom.
Yeah, but obviously I'm not talking about your mom. I'm talking about gal. We're talking about gal.
Yeah, we're talking about gal. You
You can love gal.
There's platonic love. When you care. Wait. Let Martin go.
Alright. I believe that love does exist, but as you get older, it matures and it definitely just reforms into something completely different to what you once believed it to be. So it's to me personally at least, it's an ever-changing thing.
I agree. But the thing is, right, the moment we get old, right, it's not the same as when we're like kids. When we're like kids, right, it's so intense, you get me? But the older we get, it's all fucked up and shit. You get me? I can't look at a girl and be like, I love you. I'll be like, alright, cool, whatever.
No, but I feel like that's self-preservation to us. You might do, but because you're scared of like her being no inner feelings and stuff.
But just like fucking tap, man.
Yeah, but so are niggas.
I've told you this many times, man. Bitches have more resources than niggas. Dick might not go out of style, but these bitches are tapped.
Dick never goes out in style. I told you that. So are niggas though.
No, man. No.
What do you mean? You sound like you don't love your mom. I've told you this so many times.
I love my mom, but these bitches, nah. I love women.
I think what Ita's trying to say is that the current social situation has gotten very complicated, and Itai being a product of a broken society where he struggles to have any love towards a girl is also a result of women in general struggling as well.
You got molested at a club, G.
Alright.
Wow. Is that just what we're doing now?
Just airing people's problems live.
He's not lying, but
This is tapped, man.
There is like
No, but
I'm
those are
saying
extreme
these sort of
cases.
yeah,
Those are
these
extreme
situations
cases.
lead to us having a very cracked way of looking at people.
That's
You know,
true.
you don't want to trust someone. Leo said that. You know, it's hard to trust people these days because if you do end up saying "I love you" to someone, like
They switch up.
yeah, at the back of your head. See, that's your first reaction. They're gonna switch up, right? Something's gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt, and it goes both ways.
I feel like it's like if we're taking love as a general concept, even like love for doing something. I feel like I don't know. We live in a great. Well, I'm not one of those people who's like everything sucks. Great, I mean great. I'm not one of those people that everything sucks or anything like that. But I feel like we live in a society where like if even let's take girls out of the contest. If you love doing something, it's not rewarded. So I feel like people for their own interest are like, I don't like doing this. I'm gonna do whatever gives me the biggest pleasure. It's like if you love like I don't know, making music, like me and Brighton, I feel like if people who love making music, they will not put themselves into that because like, damn, this is not going to work out for me. And people just compromise. I feel like it's in a very twisted way. It's the same thing for girls where like, people will be like, oh, I might like this girl. You can exchange. I feel like loads of guys exchange love and like for the same thing. Right? Some guys don't understand what love is. But some guys may like a girl and really love it. And then they're like, just because their feelings might get offended, they're like, oh, I don't want to put too much interest in this, so I don't love her. And
no,
then
the thing is, right, so you say that, but I feel like everyone knows what love is. Don't you?
Nah.
For real.
Then none of us know what love is.
Everybody has experienced that, that bliss, that true love bliss. And then it fucks up and then you're like,
I don't think so, man.
You don't think so?
The way that I saw it, or personally, I feel like love to a lot of people, they have a crush, right?
Yeah.
They have a chemical feeling when they see that first girl they like, and they're like, "Damn, is this love?" Right? That's you start to question yourself. But like for me, where I've been in a long relationship, I've been past that point where it's like the honeymoon phase, where you don't get. It's not those butterflies. It's love becomes something you build over time. It becomes
yeah.
And I
feel like
see, that's what I'm saying. Love is what you see individually. You think that everyone experienced love, right? But you've got your own concept. In my life and my world,
preach.
Your love could be different to mine.
White Jesus, preach.
Obviously, that's because love is different to everybody. But I feel like everybody's experienced their form of love. You get me? So you've experienced your form of love. Brian's experienced his form of love, and you've experienced your form of love, right? So have I. We've all experienced different forms of love. Do you feel
you've been in love, Brighton, with a girl?
Yeah. We've all experienced it just in different shades.
Sorry, I just got Kate's image of it. I just got.
Give it a name, give it now.
But there's so many white girls called that.
Yeah. All I'm saying.
Do you want to censor that, Brighton?
What?
Do you want to censor that?
What sense of that?
No, he doesn't care. He
doesn't
doesn't
care.
care.
Fuck that bitch.
I even hear that.
Man, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, right, love is like, it comes in different shapes, right? Everybody's experienced it their own way. It's just after a while, it's like, why are you gonna love someone? It's better to just like somebody, because then it's like, less painful.
See, that's kind of why it became.
No, but I feel like the pain part is part of the process.
Yeah, obviously. I think how do I say this, man? It's like, pain is like a byproduct of experiencing something bad, so you don't do it again. But if you find that one person, right, then you'd be like, let me take the risk. You get me? But who wants to do that? Who wants to do that?
I want to do that.
You do that for fun though, man.
It's not for fun,
man. You like to fucking inflict wounds on yourself, G.
No,
like emotional wounds.
No,
nigga, you wanted to be a priest 2 days ago.
What?
That's true.
About this. I like that because there's this. I don't know. In my case, there's so many girls that like I love girls and I love everybody. Like not like that, but like.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate everybody, but like there's so many girls that like. And I ain't wrong if you love everybody. I'm just saying. That's my
being
preference.
gay is a sin.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Cancel.
Yeah. Everybody on Twitter already cancelled on this. That was Timothy Ty.
Timothy Ty.
No, but like I feel like there's so many girls I'm like indifferent to. When like I like somebody and then it ends or whatever, like and I like actually get hurt. Obviously, in the moment, I'm not like, yes, hurt me, please, get me my feelings. I'm not like that. But when it happens, I'm like, damn, I actually care about this person. Like,
damn, I felt a type of way. That's so crazy. That's you.
Yeah, but it makes you in a very twisted way. It makes you feel more human. No, am I tripping?
You're tripping.
No, sure, Brighton. Am I tripping?
Balls, man.
I don't. Bruh.
Like nobody wakes up wanting to fail.
Yeah.
I wake up every day thinking, damn, I hope I feel something today.
But that's like Leo has a point. Look,
Yeah.
if you don't fail, right? If you don't try something new, if you don't fail, you won't obtain anything new in your life.
Amen.
Yeah, you gotta put yourself out
Obviously, but at the same time, it's like if I'm gonna put myself out there and find like I ain't gonna fully invest myself. Because,
Well, yeah.
Because nowadays you
it's like you have to.
I ain't gonna
You just have
fucking
to find
invest myself.
your own way.
I
'cause
will
it's like,
put 10% in a bitch. That's it. That's my investment.
You just have to-
10%.
Yeah.
10%.
You have to do.
I didn't think of that. I'm crazy.
You have to like
interest,
manage
man.
what you can. Because it's like obviously the first girl that you like, you're gonna be like, oh wow,
The
this
first
girl's
girl you
amazing.
like, yeah, this
I
is
love
amazing.
this girl. You do
Everything
like everything
about
for this
her.
girl.
And then boom, it turns
then-
out she's fucking.
I still do that. I still do that.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying you won't, but like
Man, fuck
you're
that.
gonna be more like perceptive to like. You're gonna be.
Imagine giving the world to this bitch and she leaves you, bruh.
Bro, but I'm saying you.
Bruh, that's
it's
an
not
L.
Like, no,
That's
but
an L.
no. But
You
listen,
get-
right? No. Listen, like, because obviously
you should
the way-
tattoo that L on your forehead.
Bruh.
Honestly, you fuck that.
Let Brighton talk.
because it's like you're gonna be more perceptive next time to like the type of person that you wanna like do that to. Because obviously, if someone like takes advantage of you, for example, and that you're
That's
gonna,
very true. That's very true. But what you're saying, Nita.
It's very-
That's very true. What Brighton said. What you're saying, Nita. Like people are gonna hurt you regardless. Your parents are gonna hurt you. Like you have trust issues. You need to
My
learn
mom
to.
ain't gonna fucking be like, listen, like I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna leave now, bruh.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that every girl is
My
gonna
mom,
do that.
the only
That's-
thing
yeah.
my mom would do to me is say, I'm gonna make you food and then she'll forget. That's the only bad thing my mom would do to me.
Some people have messed up parents. That doesn't like stop them from loving other people. Some people have shit parents.
Yeah,
and
good
shit
for
like
them, man.
It's not good for them.
Good for them.
that. Right, Brighton. Look, let Brighton go. Brighton.
Fuck that.
But no, I was just saying like, it's just you gotta see like how much you're willing to like put in and risk for it.
Fuck
Like,
that. You niggas are crazy, man.
It's not even that crazy.
I ain't
Because
gonna-
it's even the same with like having a friend or whatever. Like
That's-
you're gonna like trust them. Like you're only gonna trust them as much as you feel like you can.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if you meet someone day one, you're not gonna like dump all your emotions and like tell them everything.
No, the thing is with friends, right? It's not like romantic, emotional things. You get me? You're not out here holding hands, fucking plugging each other and shit. You get me?
Yeah, but,
fucking
like-
dicks and for JJs and shit.
Okay, it's not that intimate,
You're
but
out here like
it's
you
a
know,
similar-
just telling each other shit.
Yeah,
man.
but it's a similar like concept because like you could tell your friend, or like you could tell them something like personal about
I can
you.
tell my friend, yeah, like I got punched in the face by this bully in like year 5, right? My girlfriend will use that against me one day. You
Yeah,
get me? She'll
so
be like,
that-
oh,
that person might use
What's
that
your
against
answer
you,
to
right?
that, Ita? Then what's your answer? Like, what's your answer to that? Like, because
Simple.
like relationships
Simple
are part.
answer.
Relationship of any form are part of being human.
Yeah, simple answer. Don't trust that bitch.
So what are you gonna do? Just smash? Nah, you can't do that.
You can,
Smash it.
man.
That's how you end up. You are a future deadbeat dad. You
I love
are a
my-
future deadbeat
I
dad.
love my kid. Fuck my wife. There you go. There you go.
Well,
My ex is
as
a
we
bitch.
can see, Ty has a few unresolved issues.
Bruh, you guys, man.
I get him though to a certain
Is your
extent.
dad? Is your dad a deadbeat?
I did. What do you mean?
Like, is your dad?
He said my deadbeat dad. It doesn't even his dad alone anymore. It's like it comes with it.
I feel like it comes from like a little bit of the parents. Because like my parents have fights all the time, but they're very like I don't see any form of like romantic thing. Like my parents don't hug, they don't kiss or anything like that, but they've been together for a longer time. And even though they fight a lot, like they still make it work for our sake.
Parents have a massive.
You get me? And I feel like that
influence on
really
this, yeah.
influences the kids. There's so many girls and guys nowadays that like the parents just don't have a great relationship. So it gives them a top perception of like how relationship work.
Yeah, there's
like,
many dads that leave, and there's
like-
women that don't know how a man's supposed to act, right? So when they get a guy, they kind of search for something in him, or they don't know quite what to expect, and you know that also comes with problems where they're worried they'll leave, if a person will leave. You know, parents have a massive impact on the kid.
Definitely, because the reason why I believe in love so much, like I don't see my parents doing. I've never seen my parents' kids or hug and stuff like that. But like they work good as a team. Like I don't want exactly that, because you know I would want to show affection to somebody else, because my parents can be a bit cold-hearted. But like it makes me really believe like damn, there's that person. Maybe there's a possibility that there's a person out there that you can work as a team and keep it going.
Yeah,
And you two focus on the end goal when they leave you. There's so much in the journey
Yes,
that you miss.
There is, but in the end, you like no matter how much you invest, you gotta understand that, you know, people think different. People, like, nowadays we live in a pretty tapped society.
There needs to be compromises. There need to be compromises.
It is a compromise. You do. Like, I think it's between what you guys are saying, what Itai is saying, because Itai's pretty radical with this. It's like zero trust from the get-go. Like, I believe you can build up trust with someone. You can grow together, you know.
It's up to each person to just decide. Like I said, it's up to each person, like, just to decide, like, how much they're willing to put in. Like, if you look at a girl and you're like, oh, I think she could be cool, like, obviously you're not going to put in the same amount, because you can be, like, romantically interested in, like, 2 girls, but there's one where you might be like, all right, I'm going to put, like, more effort into this girl because she seems, like, more receptive to it, and she's giving more back as well.
Right, on that, I got kind of, it just popped in my head now, like a second topic, right? Do you think, for now, in our setting, do you think the university life kind of facilitates the whole no. Do you think do you think the uni life kind of facilitates the whole, like, I don't know what to call it, the smash and dash kind of like thing, whole phase or whatever, like for both boys and thing. Do you think that kind of has an impact? Because, like, it might not be the main cause.
It always did, you know. Even before, like, Tinder was a thing, I'm sure uni was the place where people just.
So do you think maybe do you think maybe our perception? Because, like, when I went back home and I had to kind of date outside of uni, my perception of how, like, people moved was, like, crazy. Like, when I was talking to them, I was like, damn, like, cause I found so many loyal people. Yeah, you're gonna find people that are, like, completely, like, out there and, like, be having, like, 7 side hoes or side bitches if you're a girl or a guy or whatever. But, like, in the real world, I was like, damn, there's so many people like my age that want to start. I don't want to start a family now, but they wanted to start settling down. So is our perception kind of a little bit misconstrued because we are seeing the uni kind of hold it?
The thing is,
or is this how the world is moving forward?
But that's after uni. Once people, like, done the whole.
Yeah, these people were my age. Well, they're not in uni, but they're my age. Yeah, they're our age.
They're not in uni, so they don't really have that many people to fuck around. But the thing is, right?
But I mean, Tinder is still there.
Yeah, Tinder's still mad people.
But Leo said settle down. You know, I know people that didn't take the uni career path, and I told this to Itai. Like,
what do you mean I settled down? I ain't married.
I'm saying like settle down because people go literally straight to work, and I have a friend that has, like, 2 kids already, and he's working for those kids and his girlfriend. So those sort of people, or even people that don't have kids, they might feel like they're already more in the adult world. They're surrounded by people that have kids, you know, and they might want it more.
You have to mature real quick.
I don't want a kid right now, and I'm in uni, but sometimes I go, I'm like, damn,
listen,
like,
man,
having a kid is not a bad idea.
This can be equal to secondary school. We go to lessons, we play around, we just have more,
I get horny people now.
You understand?
Like, it's a horny man.
That is part of, like, the uni thing though, because the whole thing is like, it's like, oh, you're out of your parents' house, you're free, like,
exactly.
You can.
For some people, this is the first time they come out of strict households.
So just doing the most.
Go out there and do the most. Yeah.
And that's you know what's crazy, right? The people that we knew at, like, college and shit, right? You know, they're, like, super nice, down to earth people turn into hoes for some reason. Like, for real, the nice girl that lived next door goes to uni, she becomes a scat. For real, big time scat. I knew a while.
I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes uni. I see what you're saying. I feel like sometimes
uni facilitates wholeness.
I feel like uni. Yeah, a bit. I feel like uni gives me a very, like. There's not, and honestly, I feel like there's nothing wrong with, like, like, to each their own. Like, I wouldn't want a girl that, you know, like,
being a hoe.
But no. Listen. You should listen more.
I am listening, bruh.
I personally wouldn't want a girl that, like, because I am on that stage. I just realized, you know, just all these games and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it makes you sound cool on paper, whatever what it is. But I personally, I want companionship more than the actual, you know, smashing and dashing kind of thing. So I personally wouldn't really like a girl that's adventurous and, you know, hopping from guy to guy. But I feel like kind of for some people. And for some people, the whole phase might be, guys or girls might be, like, okay, while you're trying to find yourself. You get me?
I don't know, like,
but maybe because we want different stuff, and we encounter people that, or maybe we've been through our whole phase, or maybe we are stuck in the whole phase.
Look, I respect different people's journeys and all this, but like, personally, Like personally, I feel like when there's a girl that was or would be a hoe, you know, I think that has an impact on me, right? That comes with baggage that I don't want, and you know, you might be okay with that, you might be fine, but I feel like when you go to uni and you can do what you want, it kind of shows how you're built, you know.
If the first
people change, because I was thinking. Sorry, I'll let you talk. I was thinking the other day. I was like,
people change, bro. But we're
your body count.
We're too young for that.
I hear that. I hear that. But sometimes I was thinking the other day. I was like, damn. It's like this girl that like it's like uni or something, and she did like paramedic. Like damn, like, and she was like doing. I don't even remember her name, so I can't even like. I'm not throwing anybody out there, but she, you know, she's doing like an important course, saving people's life. And I was hearing stories that she was doing like heavy drugs in the bathroom and shit like that. I'm like, wow. I wonder how many like people in the professional world that went through uni, nurses, even office people that you rely on, have went through that phase and now finish uni and just kind of calm down. So maybe is it
start doing it and continue doing it after they
some
start,
people do, but like
people don't get
there's so many people that
it's
do
not
it that there must be a point.
I
I don't want to think about this, but like there's a high possibility.
I've seen myself first.
Our parents will probably
different
hold
industries, you know. People, the world's darker than you think, you know. You start to meet these people which seem very nice, and they are nice. And I'm saying, like, a drug addiction doesn't make you an inherently, like, bad person, right? Yeah, but it's, like, I've seen really not good people. Yeah, it's there. So, like, it's like that meme you see, you know, like, oh, I do cocaine, but I'm not on that other stuff, bro. That is the other stuff. And, like, there's just people like that out there, you know.
And even if they go to uni, they're still gonna have that. You get me? It's not gonna go away. If you're at uni and you did your whole thing and you had a body count of like 7 and then it tripled, like while you're there, like your body count ain't gonna go away.
Okay. Another topic. How do you feel about the body count thing? Because I don't care. I never asked a girl about body count before.
You don't care at all.
I care, man. Imagine your body count.
If you don't care at all, man.
I've never asked.
There's girls that
maybe because I don't ask.
A bare dick. Like there's no other way to say it. And if she's 21 or she's like me because I'm 20. So she's 20 and she tells me she's been through like 50 dicks. Then that makes a fucking difference, my guy. We haven't had a whole lifetime for her.
I don't know what it is. I just never asked.
I say. You have the freedom to fuck who you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
But don't expect me to accept it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Don't expect me to be like, yeah, you fuck 20 guys and you're only like 19.
I don't know. I don't know if you started in a lot of Western films, but you've been doing a lot of writing over these.
I just want to say something, right? Do you have the same energy for like if a guy comes up to you and he's like, yo, I've had sex with like 30 girls.
Yes. I've got the same energy.
Yes. Why you
I think you guys do, but lots of guys don't. Let's be honest. Lots of guys don't. Lots of guys are like, damn.
Me and Ita can actually back it up with our experience. Like, it's the same shit, you know? Like, guys that fuck bare girls, you know, am I going to see that as like, by bare girls, I mean really bare girls. And at our age, is that, in general, is that a decent human being?
No.
Normally, it's a dickhead. It's a guy that has insecurities and he just uses women and you know it's tragic, but it's
my
true.
thing is why do you need to fuck bad people? Why? Honestly,
niggas be horny. It's part of life.
Why not just find someone you like, fuck them until you die? Like it's the same
because they're like you, they have attachment issues.
No, the thing is with me, right? If I find someone,
or maybe they're just it's like a car. It's a new toy.
Listen, fuck that dude. Listen, right? All I'm saying is, right, why do you need to fuck?
Got to catch them all.
Pokemon.
This isn't Pokemon. You don't need to catch them all, man.
Catch all the STIs.
Bear man. What goes inside your mind to be like, damn, I need some new dick 24/7. It's like a weird addiction. It's bare weird. But I don't know, man.
There's always like complications behind it, like you know.
I feel like people do
daddy
it because
issues. Some guys that just have attachment like, issues and stuff like that. There's no answer really. I feel like
there is though. I feel like you have to look inside yourself to be like, why do I keep going out there to fuck bare people and then feel shit about myself?
You see,
because it has an effect on you psychologically.
You see,
I don't bare man.
Because if you're horny, you're horny. Something like I feel like some guys maybe like they have Tinder or whatever, like they can't find a girlfriend and like they can't settle down. Maybe because like girls, because like I'm nowhere near having a very high body count or anything like that. But like I have this problem with like. I can charm people and some people like some girls just will look at me and like go on a date with me like damn you cute and I want to smash, but I want something more. And then when then maybe after a smash story, after I talk to them, whatever, like, oh damn, like I have a thing where a girl cut me down because I went on a date and I didn't make a move. It's like damn, like I kind of just wanted to smash you,
and this thing. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. But I'm saying some people might smash and then think
the
it's gonna lead to somewhere, and then it doesn't.
I mean, that's the
we
problem.
were talking about this with Vito the other day. We were talking about how like it sounds lame as fuck, but like sex is sacred, right? And if you overuse it, and if you know
you're tinting yourself.
It actually makes you insensitive, and it's like this with anything. If you watch horror movies, you'll become insensitive to like fear. If it's
for real,
exactly.
I generally can't get scared that much. For real, like for real. Somebody pops up to me, I'm like, oh, because remember when the car was coming back, I just walked like, oh shit.
You become numb, and it's like that, you know. And I think people ignore it and then do it so much. And I realized that myself because
I did it so much.
No, because when I went out there in the like that society, because obviously I've been single not a long time now, but I've realised how girls just want to fuck so much and so fast, and to me in my head it's like this is like a big thing to me, but to them they will fuck me and it's like it's like nothing. It's like for me getting fucking Mackies.
I don't like that
exactly, and it's
like
scary.
fast food now.
Exactly,
it's literally like fast food, but you just want it and then leave.
And to me, someone that sex is actually like a sacred act in a sort of way, you know, like it means something to me. To them, it doesn't mean fuck all. It's about getting a little, like the rush,
adrenaline and shit.
Think about like, and this is not to sound pretentious, but we are kind of like a niche bubble where we're a niche bubble where sex is not a big thing. There's a lot of horny guys out there where like that's all they want. Let's be honest.
There is. I've got so many friends that literally.
Let's be honest. So it goes both ways for both girls and things. Quickly back to the body count thing. I don't ask for body count. I've never even thought about it until you mentioned it the first time to me. But like one thing I don't like, don't bring your ex into it. Don't tell me about the people you've dated. That's one thing I really, really dislike. I will not ask you about your body count. I don't want to know. I don't want to, but I don't like. Maybe is that being insecure when I don't want to hear about people you've dated beforehand, or is that just?
I feel like
a little bit.
Depends.
I think it depends.
It depends. I want to hear your point first, Brighton.
I think it is a little bit like because you gotta be like, you know, secure in the fact of like that person is like with you right now and they're not with like the exes. But it's like it depends like how. Because if just the mere fact that they're bringing up their ex like scares you, then it's kind of like
it's a bit weird.
Like that's kind of on you then.
Yeah.
Like what's happening? Yeah. But if it's like
she's like, oh yeah, me and my ex broke up. It was really rough and shit. It's like, okay, cool.
You're like, obviously you can get red flags when you see the person keeps coming back to it, or there's something more. Because not gonna name who, but like we met some people recently where we kind of see how it can lead into a very messed up situation, you know, where
a clock's on. I know.
Yeah. So there's things like that, but there are, let's say, people that genuinely just will tell you about their ex because maybe there's, you know, maybe they got harmed some way because of it, or they have erratic behavior because of a previous relationship, and that's fine.
Or if it's like an abusive shit, like, oh, I was just on the other side. So if I like, you know, get inside my own brain because of this and the other. You get me? If they tell you why they're doing certain things because of the ex,
and see that cool. You can appreciate.
So, but would you classify the ex thing as a body count thing? Because the reason honestly, I think subconsciously, I don't know, but subconsciously the reason I don't like asking about body counts. Because I don't like.
You wouldn't ask about body count.
Oh, this guy asked. Like, this guy asked. He asked.
I would ask, but it would not be like.
The reason why I don't ask, I don't want to be hurt. Because I feel like I'm gonna hear something that maybe will hurt me.
It wouldn't hurt me though, because
it would hurt me if I think this girl's fucking like the one, and then the body count's like 50. It's like.
Because like, what the point? If I'm asking a girl something like that, I like her. I like her.
Okay, but the thing is, like, if you already have decided that you like this girl. Why does the body count like? No. Why does it like affect it that much?
Then you know, like she's like has poor choice.
Okay, yeah. But it to me it's a bit that I hear that. That's why I think I don't like because I just don't want to know. But the reason why like I agree with both of you. Why should you care? But at the exact same time, when you hear like when you like a girl so much, it's like I don't know. It's like the thing Ita was saying a little bit. Like it's and everybody is free to like. Be promiscuous and have like I feel like I don't want to preach abstinence or not have sex with it. If you feel like that, because some people are just like sexually active and that's how they are as a character. it's way better to be like that than repress them, and then you end up in weird situation where people are doing like messed up shit just to have sex or something like that, or people like get married with people just because of sex or stuff like that. And it gets weird. That's completely fine. It just, in my scenario, the way I am, I just like to feel like the person I'm seeing and I'm talking to it's a personal thing. You get me? You get me? And sometimes it can make me feel like, damn, like, I don't necessarily enjoy, the whole sex part so much. I enjoy the companionship more than that. So if I hear that somebody is like has been with so many people, I genuinely don't care. But the reason why I think I would be annoyed if I find out it was a very high number, because I feel like, damn, like, because girls don't say it, like, some girls say they don't, like, some girls say they don't, it doesn't matter. But I think, at least for our age, at least for the girls I've seen and the girls I talk to, sex is an important part of the relationship. It's not everything, but if she's like had like 25 men and all girls, or 25 people, and then you only had 6, at some point, if that relationship keeps going out and you only had like 3 and you're not good, for some people, especially for our generation, I feel success can become an important part of a relationship. It should never be the main thing, but it can become a thing that puts strains on it if you're not good. And like, maybe like, obviously communication comes into that, but maybe it comes from insecurity where I'm like, oh damn, like because she's had so much experience.
You see, like, I think this is really based on who you are, because I think I've got a really good approach to it, because I don't get attached to people easily.
Same.
So when I enter something like that, for you, example, Leo, you might go into it and you might be like, oh damn, I really like this girl, and it might have a more trigger in you when she tells you something than it does in me. So when I would get told that, right, I could very logically just sit down and just weigh up my choices and be like, look, she's got a bad history, this is, I mean, I'm guy 25, what's going to be different from guy 24, So like you can weigh it up, and for me it won't hurt. For me, I'll be able to cut it off like that.
I agree. The thing I learned when I like in my early days was, if you like a girl, do not glorify it too much. Do not take it in personally, because at the end of the day, you have to realize she's just a person, a human being with flaws, character defects. No, but you can't. This and the other. So if she pulls up and says, "Yeah, my ex did this and the other. I fucked bad man. I did this, or after realize, yeah, she's a girl, and then you can either take it or leave it, because she's a human being. You get me? And then that's why I don't trust bitches, because I'm not the human.
Oh, bro.
This guy just preached and then went toxic. Just went toxic because
speaking the facts the whole way.
Like, I see what you're saying, but I feel like you can. I think glorify is a strong word, but you can really like a girl and
put them on a pedestal.
No, it's not. No, because like I be catching feelings like when a girl is my perfect type, I be catching feelings and I like them, but I don't put them on a pedestal. I don't put them before thing. I don't, but I like them, so I feel like that's a nice thing to have.
No,
that's a nice thing to have.
I can't agree.
I'm not saying I put them on a pedestal. I'm just saying.
The thing is, right, when you say that's my perfect girl, you're like, this is the one. You want them to be the one, and then when they're not,
I accept mentally that she might not be the one.
No, you don't. That's the words, man. When you say she's the perfect one, she's
and when I said perfect one, I meant like she's my type to T. That doesn't necessarily mean the one, because
but then when you ask those questions, it chips away at that type. You get just little by little until she's like just that girl. Just another one. You get me? And then DJ Khaled comes in and just says another one.
Perfect. Bro. Okay. So on that topic, right? What if you had to list, let's say, 5 essential questions that you would ask a girl to find out, to gauge if she's not the one, but like a good fit for you, which ones it would be? I know I'm putting you on the spot. I'll give you a bit of time to think about it, because it's kind of like a thing. Whoever feels like
the perfect question, just be like, is she the one?
No, like 5 essential.
Are you the one? Are you the one, my guy?
You're the one. You're the one I'm looking for. This guy's gonna pull up like Cinderella with like the shoe, trying to fit on the shoe. Like,
man's got that Star Wars. Are you the chosen one? Just tell me, bro.
What question?
Like, if I had to think, right? Because it's a bit of a hard question. If I had to think,
you just wouldn't, like.
No. But like 5 essential things. It wouldn't be a question that you ask her, but it's like, when I mean questions, like key stuff that you're looking into.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, real quick before we get into it, that's something I really learned, and it's I really don't judge a person by their answers anymore because I just feel like I look at actions fully with this shit.
Especially
because,
with girls.
Okay.
This comes with friends as well, man. People tell you stuff,
And
but
then
the way they
switch up.
move is completely different.
Yeah.
That's why with the question thing, like there's even like valid questions I can think of in my head. That stuff just won't give me anything.
Imagine asking a girl.
No, but instead of instead of thinking it more as questions, more like when I meant question, I meant like key stuff you look into a girl. So if I had to think about,
if we change key stuff, I would look at
like 5, because there could be millions, but like 5. Or if you really want, let's short it into 3.
It has 1. It must be a good. It must be a good one. Let's go.
Are you gonna waste my time?
Everybody's gonna waste your time at some point.
No. I mean, like, are you going to start moving with the moment we start dating? Are you gonna fucking air me out, do this, that, and the other? Because if we're dating, I'm loyal to you. Don't waste my time.
Facts.
That's
I say this all the time. All of my girls, if I'm dating you, I treat you well. I don't put you like on the like. I'm not gonna treat you like my mom because that's different. But like, I treat you well because like I care. You get me?
Yeah,
I treat you like one of my friends, one of my uni friends, like close friends. Obviously with different thingy, because you become part of my life. You get me? But at the exact same time, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here, because I can already hear, and like maybe next episode we'll bring a female so we can have like their viewpoint as well. But just to play devil's advocate, I would say no girl can really assure you if they can waste your time, because feelings come and go. You get me?
See what I would say?
Yeah.
The thing I would look out for would be how she moves when the times are bad, when things aren't so easy to do, when not everything is great and fine. When we argued, when I'm ill, or like does she go to get me the medication? Does she move like that? And that's when you kind of see it after an argument. Does she come back to check if you're okay? I mean, I'm not expecting that. Like, I'm saying that I would give it back, right? But I would say when times are tough, that's when you look how she moves, because this is just general advice. It's not it's not fully to do with this, but it's like never make promises when you're happy. Never make decisions when you're sad.
Don't go to shops when you're hungry.
That's true.
Right, what about you? Brighton. What about you?
I don't know. I still haven't got anything specifically in mind.
Do you want to pass it to me what you think? Or, yeah. I think the first thing I'll look into is like, I think it's communication. How good are you at communicating? Obviously, there's gonna be stuff like do you like me? Like that stuff. I'm assuming the base of like, do you like me? Thing about communication, because like I'm somebody who likes to talk a lot. Damn, he's dying here. Look at him.
Apologies.
The lack of coochie is killing him.
I'm actually falling apart.
Like, communicators, like, I'm somebody who likes to talk a lot, and I'm understanding. Like, I can be hot-headed, I can continue, but like, if you talk to me, if you give me time to cool, and you talk to me afterwards, most likely I'll come to a decent conclusion. But there's so many, like, in my experience, I know ladies, if there's any ladies listening to this, I know there's loads of girls out there that probably good with communication, and they've had the guy that's the opposite, that doesn't communicate well. We're saying we're bringing these points from our viewpoint, but there's so many girls, and when I was little, I used to believe it. I used to be like, yeah, like, damn, guys are the ones that cannot communicate. But there's so many girls that I've talked to that I liked, and I didn't really do anything wrong. They just did not communicate to me the problem. And then they started pulling apart when I started pulling apart, like, oh, you're not communicating with me, but I tried. I have a quick case study, a very quick one. And I'll let you guys go. I'll let Brighton take after this. I had this girl that was like, she's doing nursing, right? And she was like away for like a uni, and we went to the same uni. She had a placement for like, she was away for like 3-4 months, and she was gonna come back. We met online, started like talking. Like, we got along very well. It was like a genuine friendship that like, we knew there was something there or whatever. But like, for the longest time ever, she did not tell me. She told me, like, she lied. Also, bad communication is the same thing as not communicating. That's one thing I want to get across. She was like, oh yeah, I'm ready for a relationship, and that was implied from day one. I'm just away.
I thought what you wanted to say is not telling the truth. Like, not saying something is also classed as lying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why not saying something is the same thing.
You best not long out the story.
No, I'm gonna get to the point. And pretty much, Because, bro, yeah.
Audience is falling asleep.
Damn.
Wake up, guys.
Really gonna do me like that. So pretty much, long story short, like I talked to her for 3 months, and then she came over and like she just moved bookie. She I tried to meet up with her. She didn't show. She didn't apologize. She just came up with like very weird excuses of why she did not show up. And she was like avoiding me and everything. After 3 months of going well, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to meet once I get back on campus or whatever."
Exactly.
And then
that goes to my point. Don't waste my time.
kind of, but it was just lack of. If she told me like, and then afterwards she came back after I pulled away and I got on because it's like, what's going on? Like it's been 3 months. What are you doing there? She was like, she communicated at the wrong time. I saw her also communicated at the wrong time. That's no help. She came back like weeks after, like, oh sorry, this happened. I thought I was ready for something, and it's fine to not be sure about what if you're ready for something or not.
Man.
If you, bro, shut up. Let me finish. It's fine because I'm passionate about this. This is what
moral of the story.
He just got played.
Nah.
Let him go.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So like, she didn't talk to me she didn't tell me at the time, and like, she still wanted to keep stuff going. But then I felt like I can trust you now. You get me? You kind of like, and she still liked me. I wanted to take it back, like where it was, like 3 months before she did the whole week thing. That was weird.
Let me just say this.
But it just, right, you go.
Do you think she actually likes you, or do you think she's just saying that?
No. Because she really made effort after she lied. She made effort to still keep that going.
Girls do that.
No,
girls do that. No,
if she don't like you, they won't do that.
They do, no, G. They do that for real.
If there's any girl in the comment section,
they really
please
do that shit, man. They really act like they like you, but deep down they're like, yeah, whatever. For real, it's
it might be that, but in my case, I 100% know she liked me. It's complicated when they're going to think. More of the story, if she told me at the time, like, what I think, because she still wanted to talk, she went, like, I like you, I still want to keep this going. I would have not taken her heart if she just told me, like, I'm not entirely sure if I'm ready for this right now. Let's just take it slow. I don't really want to meet up. I just still want to talk to you. Yeah. It would have ended there. It would have not been that deep.
There's one thing that every guy knows when they grow up out of, childhood, when they start interacting with girls.
This guy really called me a child.
For real. If a girl really wanted to, she would. Look at Brighton's girl. She fucking communicated with them, and she came around.
No.
If a girl really wanted to, she would. They want to do all this, communicate their own time, do this and the other. But like, say they like you, but then start communicating really weird and booky. You get me? If she really wanted to, she would. And that's the one thing.
She was doing the most for me, whatever. But that's not the moral of the story. Communication is important. We could go down a rabbit hole with this. What was Bryson going to say?
I feel like...
No, I was going to say, I feel like part of that is due to, like, just the modern, like, way of, like the modern, like, dating culture and stuff. And how it's like, like, you gotta slide into the DMs and you have to, like, say, like, certain things to, like...
I feel like a clown.
Get girls, Like, instead of just... It feels, like, less genuine and more, like... Or I have to like
impress
act in this, impress them, act in a certain way.
I'm just very glad I'm not
to
part of all this.
A certain response.
No,
not yet.
Tall, man. That's all it is. Go just look at him like, oh, he's so tall.
For ugly people like us, we be struggling in the trenches. Or Itai. Well,
I'm not even struggling.
Yeah, friend Itai.
All I do these days,
Timothy,
is I just talk to a girl these days. I did that shit out. All I do these days.
I can't be asked.
All I do these days now is just try to talk now, because I can't be asked to play this. Oh, Shawty, you looking kind of peng today. Look at that bun and all this fucking this, that, and the other, man. These bitches are just wild, man. Fuck that.
The classic "Hey There Delilah" move. Hey there Delilah.
To be fair, I do not be moving in the DMs anymore. I did that in the Tinder times, but I kind of don't really.
I don't ever know if I'll fall into that dark, horrible place.
It's not as bad. Like,
I don't really think I will, because I have a different way of going
because he's
about
just
things.
tall. He's just tall.
It's not a different way of going about things. It's not just me being tall, bro.
It is. This guy looks like an Aryan generic dude. Yeah, Aryan prince.
Don't listen to these guys, please.
This guy, man. One day you might.
See, I don't
slide in the DMs, and that shit still happens to me.
One-time things, and you just learn never to do it again. Yeah.
See, it's
not all doom and gloom. That's one thing I hate.
I learn from people's mistakes, and I feel like everybody told me to stay away from that. And right now, I'm happy being myself by myself, I'm actually fully happy, you know.
I agree. Being by yourself, I feel like if you don't know how to be by yourself, then don't go for a relationship.
What did we say? Being by yourself is decent because what's
Facts.
overrated?
Bitches. I mean, girls. Excuse my French.
Oh my god.
It goes both ways, guys. Guys are also overrated.
Guys are-
We use bitches is unisexual.
Oh,
It's unisexual.
Yeah, everyone's a bitch.
Everybody can be a
Everybody's
bitch. We don't hate girls. Well, I don't hate girls, and neither does Ita. Well, we don't hate girls.
I really fuck with girls. It's just sometimes when they speak,
He
they
hates
say
everybody.
stupid shit. For real.
Oh my god,
For
we're
real,
gonna
they say
get
some stupid
cancelled.
shit. For real. Alright, right now.
Sometimes they do, guys. I'm
They
not gonna
really-
lie.
So do niggas. They say
They
stupid
do.
shit.
Look, it goes both ways, but we always speak from our perspective, and obviously we're not going to be talking about guys talking like that to us, because it happens that we're all straight here. But
We're gonna get an LGBTQ member.
Yes,
at some point
yeah.
to join one of the episodes.
Man, I like. What can I say?
so don't worry, guys. We're gonna fulfill the diversity quotas.
We're gonna get a girl to bring the perspective. You know, the little the I don't know, just the percentages up.
Yeah.
So we're not coming all from one side.
Maybe all this is just a racial difference.
Yeah.
To be fair, right?
You think dating is harder for black men?
No,
Nowadays?
no, I don't.
Or is it always just clapped?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think it's different.
Because girls stereotype the shit out of us.
Yeah, it goes both
Yeah.
ways again. You know, there's people with a type like that, people with a type like that, and
It's
I
like,
feel like when I listen to your like, especially Ita and like so many people, it demoralizes me. Like
What do you
how
mean?
you guys are just cold hearted. It's just
you have to be, man.
like I wouldn't say I'm cold hearted, but I'm very real. Like I see the world for what it is, right?
Trash.
So
It's
that's
not
what I'm
all
saying.
doom and gloom.
If you look at
It
it the way
is.
it is and don't hype yourself up, you're not gonna be disappointed.
If you look at the sky and you say it's nice and cloudy, then you're fucking blind.
You know, nice and
Yeah.
cloudy. What?
Nice and cloudy. If you look up and you think it's nice and cloudy,
what does that mean?
that makes no-
it makes sense in my brain.
Wait,
if you
explain.
look, okay, so if you look up and the sky is fucking gray and shit,
Yeah.
and you say it's nice and cloudy, nice and sunny,
That's what I was saying.
Oh.
Why is it cloudy?
nice and sunny, then you're blind.
yeah, nice and
Yeah,
miserable.
Nice and miserable.
You should move away from them. I know.
Alright.
They're in your best suit.
Whatever. All I'm saying is the world's really tapped. Like I know people on the people say the world isn't that bad, but isn't a peaceful time. But this world is fucking tapped. Like if you really look at the world and how
I feel like that-
it's
I
so
hate-
tapped.
I also want to just raise awareness with the fact that I always felt as if it's, you know, it's always guys that were on the side where they made girls feel uncomfortable and just...
That's true.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
That's
always
true.
felt like that, but personally, we've seen how women
Girls.
can really be just tragical.
The thing is,
That's true, but
I've experienced
like-
so much.
the difference between guys
Evil
and girls
behaviour.
is because guys were told not to do the shit, but girls just get away with it.
Exactly. So when it happened to me, I got spiked. I had
You got
just
molested.
a bad experience with females, and it happened really fast, and it just felt like, you know, technically I could tell someone, right?
But people look down on you.
Yeah, it feels weird, and you know I'm not afraid to say it because, you know, I got spiked. It's not my fault, right? Like I didn't ask for it.
Wasn't it your fault?
Right now
I'm joking,
we're getting to a stage where I feel like it's getting better because we see like, oh, do we disclose our location?
No, we don't disclose.
Well, in our
I
location
mean,
we
we'll
live.
be probably
In
promoting
Well, one
it
word
to
of
the
it.
demographic.
In the
of our
location we live, there's been moves to help that, but I just wanted to raise awareness with the fact that it happens to guys as well, and it doesn't feel any better. You know, it's actually
Yeah, but I
sad.
feel like the thing,
It's like when,
I feel like the thing with the whole thing is because I don't know. It's the whole thing of privilege complaining.
Not
But
really.
like as guys, you can't really. It's not wrong to complain about it, but girls receive it so much that sometimes if I complain about, you know, being molested or whatever, like, but
I
a
need
girl,
some-
I feel like I'm not entitled to do that because girls receive it way worse. Let's be honest,
But
and way
that's
more
what you
frequently.
assume.
That's what you
It depends on who it is.
Yeah.
Girls like girls recently said this thing where, look, I believe it's true that at one point in their life they got catcalled, you know, and that's not nice. You know, you don't want a random person, you know. So, and fair enough, but just because, let's say, more girls get it more often doesn't mean that when I receive it, it should be seen as less or not as harmful. It's just as much, you know.
Is it more of a step process kind of thing? Like it's like where like you got to solve the bigger issue first, and then because let's face it, girls having that kind of problem has been for a long time, an institutionalized problem.
Issue.
Yeah, but
Rape is
in the world we live in, this kind of has to be like we can't tackle all issues at once. So
Look,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right.
but-
I'm not saying it's right. It's the whole thing. Like I was saying to you the other day. Like it's like if let's bring it to something that hits home for us as black men a bit more. If a black guy gets killed let's say a black kid gets killed, right? And then and everybody's sad, blah 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 blah, and then a white kid gets killed, like especially nowadays. If something happens to a black person, you're gonna see because of some social media activism, fake or real, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna see it more nowadays. Maybe not in the news, but you're gonna hear about it more. But then if I hear a white person be like, oh yeah, I'm sad about that person, I'm sad about that individual, but like white people get killed all the time. You get me? It sounds like, and he's entitled to say that, but it sounds a bit. It sounds a bit. Because I feel like complaining as a guy of being. There's nothing wrong about complaining.
I think we should see
girls have it worse.
like all together.
I feel like that's the problem. Though.
It's people. It's not men and women. It's people.
Like, there's no difference.
It happens to girls more, so obviously it's gonna get more coverage.
Listen, what you're doing is trying to split them up, categorize them. Like this happens to them, but if it's the same issue, you're just categorizing it differently. But if a black man gets killed, and just because everybody's fucking making a big deal out of it, but then when a white man gets killed, people don't make a big deal of it. It's still a bad issue.
But that's what
someone
I'm saying.
died.
That's why we should see as people are dying. Not like
it's not like
that's true. Let's not look at
that's true, but
because at the end of the day, it's still a human being.
Exactly.
That's true, but that's true. Let's remember that.
Not if it happens to one person.
No. That's true, but remember, this is stuff that's governed by the media. So like it happens more with girls. So obviously you're gonna hear the girl. You're gonna think.
Listen,
life is just not fair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand why you're gonna hear about it more from.
If the media is saying, "Damn, these niggas have 11 toes," these days, are you gonna be like, "Damn, the media saying, oh, these niggas have 11 toes. That must be true." No.
No. But understand. No. You misinterpreting my point. What I'm saying is the reason why we hear more about girls and the girls want to get more coverage is because they have a bigger issue and the media.
It's right. That's the thing with the media. They always overvalue shit to get people to watch it. I feel like it's the same amount.
Oh my god!
Because think about it.
I've got a great topic.
You think about it. Like, how many, do you think that if a guy gets fucking touched up at a club, they're gonna fucking get some media?
Honestly,
I'm the other.
Exactly.
Honestly,
and if you
no.
tell your mates,
Honestly,
they'll be like, "Oh, I'm fucking jealous of it."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. It's not.
That's toxic masculinity, though. Are we to blame
Exactly.
That's the
for
media
thinking like that?
That's the media that.
No. In terms of thinking like that, come on.
No, for real. I don't even think toxic masculinity is a thing. I feel like it's just. No, that space.
Bro. You keep going.
I don't even think like the whole toxic masculinity thing is even a thing. I feel like it's just masculinity. Like, because that's how guys roll. If you get fucking beat up, people be like, you're a pussy, right?
Exactly.
No, but I think there is toxic masculinity.
If you're a dickhead, that's not toxic masculinity. That's
You get me. That's because it depends because it can be a part of why.
No, but then we can say there's toxic femininity when bitches fucking go out and fucking counter destroy a nigga and say you raped her.
Yeah, there is.
You get me? So I don't think it's toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. I feel like it's being dickheads.
No, it's like the aspects of masculinity, but like to a toxic.
Really
it's like to a point where it's like toxic now. That's the whole point of like toxic masculinity.
I met people with a different sexual orientation where they were like, they like, I don't know, someone was gay and they behaved in such an erratic manner where they believed that it kind of reflected their sexuality, where they were literally just being dickheads. They were being disruptive.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no such thing as toxic masculinity or toxic femininity.
No,
I feel like
you
guys believe that, but in realistic terms, right, if you actually really look at the world, it's just human behavior. Even though it's like male traits and it's more done by males, it's still just a human thing that just happened. It's not
depends
toxic.
on how you categorize.
Yeah, it's just how you categorize and view it. But in reality,
I think you're just using different words for the exact same thing.
Well,
I think you're just putting different labels for the exact same thing. There definitely is stuff like toxic masculinity.
No, because the thing is, some people categorize being competitive as a toxic masculinity trait. You get me? So I feel like
that's dumb. Whoever's
that's
doing
dumb,
that
but
that's not toxic masculinity.
That's the media.
That's not the media.
That is the media.
It's when it's not.
It is
because
it really is, my guy.
It's
for
not.
real. It for real it is because listen, man. All I want to just say is right. I don't think fucking going to the police is something that's considered to be like a toxic masculinity thing because guys, just fucking hype each other up and like, oh, I wish you did that to me. You know, like how like in America, like fucking what they called 16-year-olds fuck their teacher and it's like it's said to be rape. You get me?
Yeah.
It's just how it is. You get me? And the guys are like, oh, I wish that was me. It's not toxic masculinity, it's just dudes being dickheads. You get me? And that's the problem with like what we have in society. It's just people are dickheads, and we just categorize it differently because of the male genitalia we have.
But it's not just males; it's females too, and it's not just like it's just like the traits. Because it's like, for example, how people will be like, oh, if you're a man, like, don't cry, like men don't cry or whatever. Like that's not
true.
That's not just like being a dickhead.
No,
that's toxic masculinity because it's the thing that's like been passed over for like years and years. If you're a man, you can't cry, you can't show like emotion and stuff like that.
I feel like when
so it's got to a point where it's toxic because it's harming like mainly like male people. Like that's not a thing that happens to females. So
the thing is, with the difference between female and male is like. When I was growing up, right, like I cried like a little bitch when I was a kid, right. The thing when you grow up after a while, it's like crying's not gonna solve the issue. You get me?
For you. Some people don't get all that.
I guess
some people and like
crying is not gonna solve it, but it's still a way of like
toxic masculinity doesn't necessarily mean
different people have different ways of coping with
stuff.
Yeah,
because like I don't.
And toxic masculinity doesn't necessarily mean it's done by men. Like, because let's face like to an extent, and I know there's a lot of girls that don't do anymore a lot, but I've seen girls who've been with girls where like if you're vulnerable towards them as a guy, they look down upon you. Like,
yeah, that's
this nigga ain't shit.
But that's what
this
I
guy
mean.
did it. That's still toxic masculinity. It's just not expressed by men. You get me? That's what we mean by toxic masculinity.
No.
Listen, I'm gonna pull out the definition of toxic masculinity.
Wait, I just want to say for me,
he said what?
Sticky. I think right. When we're told not to cry and do this and the other, I think deep down every guy knows like bitches just lying to us. They want us to cry, but then they're just gonna fucking look down on us. You get me?
I don't know, man. Like
I feel like
I realized I was in like in my relationship. I literally just like I didn't really cry, and I feel like maybe it's something to do with myself, but I felt like I deal with things alone. You know what I mean?
Like I would never cry to like.
To someone, you know.
Yeah, I'll cry to myself, a little one tear here and there.
See,
yeah,
I literally barely ever cry. Like I'm the person that doesn't cry. You could call me slightly numb in that way, and I wouldn't say I have any suppressed. You know, I've had a great childhood, great parents, honestly a great time. But I just feel like, you know, I do get the feeling that someone might get that if they cry to someone, they will regret it right after because it feels like someone can use it against them. Because it's like a moment of vulnerability, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you share that with someone, that's definitely like a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the thing though. That's why, because people like when like girls cry or whatever, if like a girl cries to a guy about something or like cries to their mom and dad about something or whatever, people are not being like, oh yeah, nah, stop crying. Like you shouldn't be crying. You gotta be strong. You gotta be like that.
I say I feel like I think that's the difference between guys and girls too, because when we grow up, we're told to be, you know, men. We have to do what we gotta do.
It's like man up.
When girls cry, they're not really told to like toughen up. You get me?
Yeah.
But that's the problem though, because
that's the toxic masculinity.
That's not really toxic. I feel like it's just how we're just told and raised. Because I feel like if we told girls how real, like what reality is, and tell them, yo, toughen up. You can't just cry.
I guess to a certain extent, I do get what Brian is saying though.
I get that too.
It's like it can be categorized with men, you know. I'm just thinking about it, and I don't think I ever had my like dad tell me, you know, boys don't cry or anything.
Same.
I don't feel like I've ever had that. Maybe I did feel it from other like mates at secondary school or something, where you would be like, you know, you can't just start crying.
Yeah.
And it would be okay for girls to do that, but
yeah, obviously not everyone's had the same experience. But like if I would cry something, like I've had that like with my dad would be like, oh come on, you're a man, like you don't need to cry about like these kind of things or whatever. Or just like man up, stop crying. But it's like you shouldn't have to like if as a guy you're being like made to feel like you can't be, because it's not necessarily just about crying. It's about like showing your emotional vulnerability and being like damn, these things are like upsetting me. I might need to talk to someone about it.
Expressing your emotions.
Yeah, expressing your emotions.
I generally think people should, especially guys, because if you don't express your emotions, it comes out in like really fucked up ways.
Yeah,
So I feel like
there's a
people
lot
should,
of people,
I feel like people should learn to express their emotions via. If they can't like verbalize it, then they should like find a hobby to express that emotion.
Exactly. Some people cry. Like I prefer to do something physically intensive.
Okay. Right. Do you want to take the topic now, Martini?
All right.
Martini?
Well, the next topic we're gonna discuss is how social media impacts happiness in today's society, and I just wanted to start off with saying how, from my point of view, I've seen how people. Basically, it's been like this forever. Before social media was a thing, but it was with neighbors, where people see what their neighbors have. They always wanted to have the same thing or better. And it got to a stage where, I don't know, Steve from across the road had a flat screen TV, so everybody wanted to have a flat screen TV. That's how people compare to each other. That's how it always was. And now that we have social media, people post these fast cars, people post a lot of stuff, and I feel like people don't really get to appreciate what they have, because there's these unrealistic
expectations.
And some of them are literally unrealistic because they're rented cars where people literally are in debt for, or people go on holidays that are paid by their credit cards. And we live in a society like that, but I just feel like it really impacts people's
ability to be happy.
Yeah, ability to be happy.
Yeah, I see to a point.
To a point?
I see to a point, like, I feel like I see what you mean, but I feel like sometimes people misplace their anger and their problems too much on social media. Well, like there needs to be a point of accountability. You get me? There needs to be a point where you're like,
that's not really anger. I think it's more like when you're young on social media, you always feel like you're lacking because you see everybody doing this extravagant shit, going on holiday, having relationships with like multiple people, going on trips, traveling, doing this, that, and the other. So when you look at it, you're like, damn, why can't I be like that? You feel like insignificant.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is with social media. You always feel a little bit insignificant. And it also makes it easier to like stalk, like cyber stalk, like someone you really like, and then it always just makes you feel a little bit worse about yourself. I think it's not really about accountability. I think it's more like when you're young and you develop, and you always have this.
So wait.
Lingering.
So what would be your solution now? Then
I don't even. You just don't use it.
Solution.
Just don't use it.
See, I don't agree with that. I feel like education, learning how to use it better.
No,
it's more effective than just saying, "Oh, don't use it."
No, I feel like.
Go on, Ethan.
I feel like you shouldn't use certain social media until like you're an adult, like 18. I feel like 13.
To be honest, I could agree with that.
I feel like 13 is a bit too young because kids are stupid as fuck.
Nah, but like
I feel like because the thing is, right?
I mean, there is
you can't, but you can't just.
It's in like non-existent basically.
But you can't really block a certain. You can't really block a certain.
Listen, I know you can't, but I think it's more about growing. Because I feel like I didn't grow up with social media, right? I went years until like recently, like 19, until I got Instagram and all this shit, right? And I feel like if I had that when I was growing up, it would have just made me feel shitty about myself. Because when you're a kid, you got all these hormones and they make you feel like shit. But if social media, you're comparing yourself because you're like, I wish I was this, I wish I was this tall, I wish I was like that guy. It just makes you more insecure when you're growing up and just developing. But when you don't have it, you're just developing your own little bubble with your own friends, and then they just make you feel like you don't have to be like this.
Not necessarily. I don't think if you remove social media, it solves the problem.
I feel like
it exists regardless.
Maybe I feel like you'll be more confident in yourself.
I guess,
no,
I
disagree.
I disagree. I would like Leo.
I disagree because people like we know. This guy's asleep.
Brighton has fallen asleep
doing the podcast.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Say good night to the audience.
Say good night.
Good night, y'all.
we probably won't see him again. He got fired.
Bro, the guy's sleeping.
I just heard, I listened to Leo, I just heard him like snoring.
How is he asleep?
Yeah.
This guy will go and do music, and we still hear him laughing at 4 a.m. But put him on a podcast. Yeah.
He's going on Discord now, guys.
Yeah.
Go on, Leo.
I think it depends, because like there's people we know that I think if they didn't have social media, they'll still be like, you know, they will still like, you know who I'm talking about. It starts with a B, you know, and he lives with us upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like him having social media or not having social media was not necessarily gonna like protect him from wanting other stuff. Like I don't think that's I don't think that's the solution. I think it's one, educating, like as a parent, saying your child down a little bit and be more like.
See, I know you could say that.
But that's not how the world works.
Because if you block social media on people are gonna just.
Not even
then you're gonna encourage people trying to go to social media.
I'm
like,
not saying block. I feel like it should be advised not to go on it until like a certain, like it could be like you can go on it, but we advise you not to go on it until you fully mature into it, because social media is just one of those things like when you're on it for like the first time and you're not really like a grown adult, you always feel like you're insignificant because you're always comparing yourself on social media.
I do feel like there should be some sort of age thing. Like I definitely agree.
I mean, there is. There's the 13.
Like, let me give you let me give you a good example of use for social media that I've experienced. So when with my working out journey, basically, I've seen so many guys that post photos in perfect lighting, perfect everything, and I don't blame them. Right, you look better, but that stuff is unrealistic and heavily photoshopped most of the time. And then you have a guy, and his name's I think it's like Noel Denzel. Everybody calls him Daddy Noel. He's very popular right now, and he is
Daddy.
Yeah, and he is massive. He's an absolute beast, but he's being straightforward. He says that he's not natural. He did take steroids, and he says that his physique is unrealistically attainable through natural methods. So he's being honest about it, and he says that he knows a lot of people on social media, on like these platforms, where they're not being honest, and that it causes these kids that are being natural and genuine look at themselves like, why am I not making this much progress? Why are these people posting these progress pics and they're doing so much better? Am I not doing this enough? And, it makes you feel like you're not enough. But there's some of these influencers which like just they do it in the right way.
Problems like that will exist regardless. Problems that will exist regardless. It's like I don't think putting an age barrier or something like that. Then it goes back to the whole thing of like, video games and being like, what all these kids are violent because video games are causing it.
No, that's different.
You get me?
Video games.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you gotta say.
No. That's the argument adults that don't play video games make.
Exactly.
No, but the thing is, we use social media.
We actually
use it. So
I had social media. I had my first social media on Instagram, and I've used it to keep up with. I initially got.
And you feel like it hasn't had any impact?
No, honestly, no. I don't know if you're counting, like, I guess WhatsApp still counts as social media, but I had WhatsApp since I was like, maybe 11, and then I had Instagram.
Yeah, WhatsApp.
No, then I had Instagram.
WhatsApp's gonna make you jealous of
then I had Instagram. Well, because you guys don't use.
Stacey replies so much faster than
you guys. No, because you guys are from the UK. WhatsApp is like a Snapchat in Europe. Like it's the replacement for Snapchat. Because Snapchat's not a thing in Guinea. I had that since 11. I had Instagram since like 12, 13. Maybe I got it like 2 years after. And that's my old account. That's the longest social media I've ever had. So I've always been like on Instagram and things. Like I don't think it really had a negative effect.
I think
I maybe because I didn't have anything.
Well, yeah.
So just seeing other people go like, alright, cool.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? But that's because you didn't have anything.
Yeah,
like,
can you seriously tell me that you've not seen kids that are like influenced by?
No, some kids.
I've seen young cousins.
Like Instagram, because that shit's just
no. Instagram is mild.
No,
Twitter is wild. Twitter is way worse.
No, Twitter is the place where you go to have your fucking ego crushed, right? Twitter is toxic. Instagram's the place where you see when your insecurities just pop up. because everyone's always posting about themselves, hyping themselves up. Because likes, you get me? People just likes.
Like, look, I'm not saying because it doesn't have any impact on me. You know, I'm not on Twitter, but I just feel like I've not had any impact. But the reason I'm saying this is because I've just seen impact on like young minds using it, and I just see them there's no harm in wanting something better, but I see them like demanding better phones when they don't need them, demanding better clothes when it's not as necessary.
You always want more.
Yeah, and
but then, yeah, that's the thing. But then, isn't the solution educating the kids better?
Like,
rather than just taking away from
that's what I'm saying.
What can we say to them at this stage? Because they've always had it since they're growing up.
I've always, especially with my mom, always had the conversation. Like, I was not maybe, I wasn't maybe, I wasn't maybe happy with what I had, and my mom was like, "Damn, like, look at where we came from. Like, it's just gonna get better." And I had that conversation with my mom, but I didn't have anything to say through social media. That's why I say it will exist regardless.
That's different compared to these kids in like England. You get me? Like these kids grew up with this shit. You get me? They grew up with cell phones. Like my niece literally grew up on that fucking.
I'm saying as if I grew up with a brick phone. I grew up with cell phones around me.
Obviously you grew up with cell phones around you.
You grew up playing Snake, bro.
Obviously you grew up with cell phones around you, but these kids were just like, you know how like parents just press an iPad and YouTube Kids. These kids grew up with it as like a replacement parent. So what can we say? Like, listen, G, don't go on social media. But they grew up on it. You get me? So it's like, what can we do at this point since they've grown up with it as like a mother figure?
I guess it becomes just very
so what are you
challenging.
saying? What are you trying to say with it?
We're fucked.
Well,
We're fucked.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. It's not. You always got this doom and gloom overview.
Because it's true, man. It's just the general trend of how society's going. Kids growing up with social media as their parents because their parents are too busy working to make a living, and then they just grow up in the street. You know, there's always a saying like, if you can't find a father in the house, you find it in the street, and that's what happens.
So I've got a question from that. Like, if social media obviously has become way more prominent now, and kids are using it, how do you guys believe that the future generations will be worse than the ones we have now?
Yes,
I think a lot of our upbringing. I think a lot of our upbringing. Like, yes, I see what you guys saying on social media, but I think a lot of the upbringing problems come from parents.
No, that's true. Like
the social media thing is a problem, but if you have your parents around and like a good structural base for parenting, it will not. You may go through a thing, it will not.
Disagree.
But Leo, you do know how many, like, there's a lot of bad families out there.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. But you guys. I feel like at that point, if you're pointing on your social media, you're pointing the finger at the final thing.
Hold up. I think you can grow up with good parents, but I feel like just because of like how social media is and just how people don't know how to connect to each other, even if you have all this, doesn't mean you're able to make friends. Like in like real life, in-person friends. Because my brother's only way he made friends was just via online. Everything's moving.
My guy, you're making it sound like as if introverted niggas did not exist before social media.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's just photos all around.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. I'm not like, even if I'm an extrovert person, I don't like. It's hard to communicate to people these days because people don't actually know how to communicate with each other because everything's done online. You know, sending memes, gifts, this and the other.
I noticed that as well. You know, I sometimes try to have a nice conversation with an older person, which is easier. And then I try to talk to someone like my age and have a full-on conversation, and they always like, they just kind of struggle with it in a way. Same with like people have it like calling, for example.
I think I don't know if it's like, maybe I'm just hyping myself up a little bit.
Yes, right. He 100%.
I feel like these days, if you know how to like talk to someone, it's easier to become friends with people. Like I feel like most people these days.
It always has been.
No, but I feel like these days people. No, hold up. I feel like hold up. Like, yes, but I feel like these days, because people don't
No,
hold on. Let me say my piece.
Like, I don't have myself up. I can talk to human beings.
I can't. I do. But I feel like these days, right? I feel like people really generally want to talk to each other, like someone. I feel like that's why. No, I feel like. I feel like
as a very extroverted guy, I can tell you most of the time, like, yes, I can make people talk, but most of the time, I can before I adapt myself to adapt. Like I adapt my approach. I give people small doses of myself until they get comfortable enough to like even Aaron told me, he said I'm a great guy, but I find so many introverted people around me. Even Aaron told me that. In a good way, I'm draining.
Yeah, because you talk a lot, my guy.
No, because most people are shy. That doesn't make. That
I've seen your messages, bruh. You talk a lot.
Yeah, right.
Like, but that's you. You're proper like extrovert. I mean, like, I feel like most people really just want like.
Ethan, who would you say you are? Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
He's a clapovert. That's what he is.
I'd have to say I'm more introvert because I generally just don't like talking.
He's
to
a
people.
shy guy.
I'm
You
a
see?
shy guy.
Oh, most days people want to talk to people. I don't like to talk to people.
No, but hold up. But I'm
What would you class me as
I
then?
think it's more
I'm
extrovert.
normally person. I don't fully believe in the introvert to extroverted thing. I just feel it's just people take you too much as you are one end or the other. I feel like it's a scale. It's a scale where you more or less fit in the thing.
You can be balanced.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't like talking to people, so I'm more like an introvert. I like to keep to myself.
I get labeled as an extrovert just because I'm good. I don't really believe in the whole thing. I get labeled as an extroverted because I can talk to people. I have human decency and I have no problem doing public speaking. Just because I have good public speaking skills doesn't make me
literally randomly start talking to people.
But Ethan,
that's why
can speak in public as well, you know.
I can speak in public.
He doesn't get stressed.
No. Itai, yeah, but when Itai speaks in public with people, he sounds so shy. I don't change.
No. The thing is, because I stay in in the summer, right, I'm always in the house, so my voice is just naturally quiet.
If you're single, hit my line.
My voice is naturally quiet. It's how I am. You get me? Because I'm always by myself.
You'll be a bit more shy when you're with some people, with new people.
Yeah, with new people because I don't want to. Because I'm
well, you guys are just exposing each other.
I am.
I'm not really exposing myself. People know this.
This is who I am.
The person you hear in the music is the same person that's in real life.
If you see me in real life, you understand. I'm not very outgoing like that. But I feel like
clap over it.
I feel like these days, maybe because I've seen that a lot, I feel like most people just want someone to actually talk to because most people don't know how to have a conversation. Because conversation is like a skill you develop, and some people just haven't developed that skill yet. You get me?
I'm this guy that was born with it. Honestly, because I think I was born with it. Maybe.
No, but think about it, because you spend a lot of time talking to people, so it just naturally develops for you. You get me? But some people don't. Some people like Kate. You get me? Yeah. You get me?
This guy giving government names. To be fair, there's so many Kates out there.
So many Kates out there. So who cares, right? Like that bitch, right? She doesn't know how to talk to people. You get me? It's a skill that you develop by talking to people, and some people just don't know how to.
I see it. I just really struggle to understand what's scary about talking to this person. Like I remember when I was little, the brief 2 seconds I was scared and then I used to have this little rule now. It was just like, bro, it becomes it's awkward in your head only for 3 seconds.
You know,
if you say something, I used to I don't know if anybody else speaking in public issues. I never really had it, but as a kid, when I had to maybe do a presentation in primary school, stuff like that, I used to have this rule for brief things that I just became extroverted very quickly. I used to have this rule where it's if I start speaking, I count in my head if I'm nervous for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, people don't really care what you say. It's about how you say it. So you could be saying you could be talking out your ass, but if you make it sound believable now, people go with it. There's a 3 second rule that if you make the first 3 seconds bigger than it actually needs to be, it will become awkward. After the first 3 seconds, people don't care.
Honestly,
it's such a simple rule. I don't think it's that deep.
I feel like everyone should once in their life do drama. Because
I was about to say drugs.
No, drama. I feel like if you learn how to perform and act in front of people, it's easy to do it in real life, because once you've literally embarrassed yourself in front of your whole classmates, peers, and teachers, you can just adapt.
See, the way I had
it's that leadership.
When I was a kid, I used to feel quite I don't know why I had that, but I think quite a few people had it. I felt uncomfortable when my dad would go back to get something and I'd be left alone with a cashier, and I didn't want to talk to her. I don't know why, and I was little, and I feel like since then, I ended up going to church. I spoke in front of 200 people, and the first time I did it, it was nerve-wracking, you know. But then after I did it, it felt like I've spoken to in front of hundreds of people, and what does 30 mean? What does that mean? And then I just realized, what if I spoke to 1,000? It doesn't matter. So I feel like I completely got rid of the fear. Well, it doesn't click for me.
I feel like it's because the first when you're in that scenario for the first time when you're young, it's like, damn, this is so weird. But when you do it like in front of people, it's like, oh, why is that? It's like, I don't know, it's like a general fear that you have.
Nothing's happening. You know?
Yeah,
You're just
a
talking.
weird anxiety.
It's definitely a skill. It's definitely a skill you go to learn. I do believe it's gifted. Because like you can learn it, but some people are gifted with talking to people.
No.
Like, not to blow myself up, but I always loved the spotlight as a kid. I remember we used to do plays back in high school. You just reminded me, like back in primary school, we used to do like for Christmas. I went to like in Italy, we do like plays for Christmas. It's good, that's it. And I used to love just this. It didn't matter if I was making myself a fool or I was being serious. I used to love the spotlight, and I never had to learn or do drama or whatever. I just liked the spotlight. So some people are born to that, but that should not be.
Bruh.
Maybe, but I had no problem. Like, you can call me an attention or whatever, but I can talk in front of people and captivate the audience. So you can, like, I'm not, what I'm saying is, it can be learned. I feel like it's, I don't know, to me, it's never been that deep. It's just people, like, I don't know.
No, it isn't. Like, look, we both, the three of us, we saw literally each other speak in public in front of people.
I'm joking.
We did. And we saw how each of us like approaches it. I know what you're saying about Itai, but I feel like Itai said that it's like when I see he doesn't get nervous. He says it with confidence, but it might be quiet. You know, it might.
Like
there's worse people out there. Yeah, definitely. Itai's
exactly.
nowhere near.
Like he's not stressing. It's not that. Neither are you, and you saw that neither was I. And you know, and then we saw the other people at the society we went to, and you can really see people actually struggling. But you know, this will help them.
Yeah, I definitely feel like speaking in public is like one of the most underrated skills ever. Like, I'm glad I'm not like shy or like I don't feel like, and being confident doesn't mean you don't get nerves sometimes. But my nerves disappear real quick. I think that's what it is.
Bro,
maybe it's about nerve management.
Yeah, because I'll have nerves. Like, it doesn't matter how confident I have nerves, but it's like 2 seconds and then
I feel like
I start talking and it just disappears.
I feel like anyone that listens to this, the one lesson I've learned is you always need a friend that pushes you to like the limit, because they will help you out the most.
Some people do, but there's nothing wrong with doing it by yourself as well.
I feel like because your friends, like if you have like that guy that's proper confident, he will push you. Like he will push you to the point where it just feels natural.
Comfort zone.
There's nothing wrong with making like I don't know, maybe it works for me because the way I am, but like if you do something that's funny or awkward, instead of like focusing on it, instead of like being like, oh my god, I made it awkward, just you can just turn into a joke, and then people appreciate that so often. But don't make it deeper thing, depending on what you do. If you put your pants down, it's a bit different.
Your eyes, you're saying it for your own eyes.
Slip that in there real quick.
Yeah, I agree, but you're saying it from your own eye, from your own lived experience. I feel like for most people, right, doing that is harder than it seems.
Yeah, it might be. I'm a bit biased when it comes to this.
Because we base off on our own lived experience. Like, I've tripped up in public and been like, damn, I hope no niggas seen that. Yeah. But nowadays, it's like...
I tripped up in public and I found possibly the love of my life.
I once tripped, like I full on fell. Like, I'm one of those people that always, like, I could trip, but I would never fall. Yeah. And I remember it was a snowy day, icy day. It was an icy day. And there was a guy sitting in the van, and he saw me, like, full on ragdoll. This wasn't a fall, my guy. I went skydiving that day. I hit the ground. I fell on my ass, and I remember looking at that guy and just waving my arm like that. You know, like, I know you're laughing, bro, but I didn't care. You know, like I found it funny. Because I was like, if I saw someone do that, it's not that deep, you know. People fall. He's not gonna remember my face.
Sometimes I wanna be able to like see, like, live in the mind of an introvert, like somebody who's like a bit more shy about stuff like that, and see what the fear is. Because I genuinely cannot. I understand it's a problem, but I genuinely cannot.
We're moving on from that, but linking it to it, so we have like another interesting topic. How do you guys feel like? Because it wasn't as prominent before, but like.
Social anxiety, people having let's go more into the mental illness like sphere. Do you believe that actually? I don't want to say real, because I know that some people actually suffer from it, but I want to say, is it
as serious as an issue.
Yeah, is it as serious of an issue as people make it? Because people, I talked about this to my dad, and he said that this wasn't a thing really back in his day. Yes and no. See, give your opinion.
I think I don't actually know. If I'm being honest, it's hard to say, because there are people that do it because it's a trend, and there are people that actually do have it. You get me? Like nowadays, being gay is a trend. You get me? And so is some
being edgy, being depressed,
kind of people do some crazy shit these days. So I can't really say if it's like a prominent issue, but I do see like a lot of people are more, what can I say, unstable.
Yeah.
You get me? I can say for certain people in our generation are unstable as fuck. Get me? I can say for myself, I'm unstable as shit. You get me? Like for real. Like I got my own issues, but I'm not like all these other motherfuckers out here having sex with bare man because they want to fill a hole. You get me?
Even the phrasing was just.
Not even go. I mean, like doing unhealthy things because it's a coping mechanism. I'm not like that. You get me? But I am not there.
Yeah.
Sorry if I say this, but I was looking at a message. What was the question again?
We were just talking about like in people with anxiety and stuff like that.
But on more of a mental illness spectrum. Yeah. Like not that it's an actual thing, but
is it as prevalent as it's made out to be?
I feel like it's yes or no. When I mean by yes or no, I feel like nowadays there's more like shine up on it. Sean.
Wait, hold up.
Sean.
Light.
Like
light
poo across there. Me no English. Me come from Italy. It's been highlighted more than it used to be back in the day, and sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming. And sometimes are we putting labels on stuff that like problems that we knew? Like it just becomes so with these different names. It becomes such a big thing that sometimes like, damn, like is this a thing? And some people I feel like. Not everybody, but I feel like there's a small minority of people that maybe abusing that and kind of like using it to their advantage. Maybe they have minor problems and like, oh, I've got depression. Oh, I've got this, I got that. Yeah. But I've got to say, like because I'm so like I never really had problems, social anxiety stuff like that, like a lot. I didn't really fully understand and fully like I believe, but not fully in the social anxiety thing until we met. Cat okay or whatever, until I met them, and then I saw like, damn, she was, this person was showing stuff that I didn't clock on at first, and I didn't realize how it affected people physically. I just feel like it's because there's been years where this kind of stuff was just like, man, like on the topic we're talking about, like toxic masculinity or whatever, quickly, like, oh, you're not allowed to show this, show that. Like it's being ignored, and now we're just being bombarded with all these terms and labels. It can feel overwhelming, and sometimes it can feel like they blend into each other. So I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's something that always been there. We're just really going into it nowadays because we realize, oh shit, mental health.
I get what you
important.
mean. Like for me, I caught myself thinking one day because I was just going through really difficult times and a lot of bad things were happening to me, and I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to say I was depressed, because I felt like every kid out there says he's depressed. So I was like, I'm not going to call myself that because I'll just feel like one of those kids that just seems attention seeking. And it's not that I wanted to tell people I was depressed or anything, but I feel like it got to a stage where there are people with serious problems, and I felt like I had a serious problem where I just couldn't sleep, I still can't sleep, but that's a separate issue. But I'm just saying, like, it got to a stage where you don't want to say it yourself because, it's a serious issue, but everybody says it, so it becomes unserious.
It's become, what is the word, saturated.
Yeah, I guess it's a saturated sort of place where 12-year-olds say I'm fully so depressed. Yeah, and
I don't have any friends.
Exactly. It's also miseducation. It's also a slightly problem of miseducation.
I don't
because
think it's miseducation.
No. In terms of like fully understanding,
I think
like
people
what
are ignorant
depression
sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, but do you blame the people? Or do you blame? I hate when people always blame everything on school.
I'm not blaming people. Though.
No. I'm saying in general, like. It's not necessarily the people's fault. I hate when people be like, oh, the school didn't teach me that. School doesn't have enough time to teach us everything about life. So it's going to be normal that some stuff you got to figure out in your life. Yeah. School is there to help you, not give you everything you need in life. Because sometimes you got to go through yourself. But like, it's not really the people's fault. Because they like, it's part of learning. You get me?
Well, that's the thing, though. Like,
especially when you're kids, like, you understand, some kids might be cringe with the depressed and thing, but like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's part of now fully understanding how important mental health is, because you go first.
I think mental health is important.
It really is.
It really is. But we've overdone it at this point. Because I get days where I'm like, damn, bro, this life shit ain't worth it. Might as well kick the bucket. You get me? But then I think to myself, if I do that, then I won't be able to eat like McDonald's. You get me?
Bruh.
For real, like, I feel like
I guess you appreciate the little things.
I
in
appreciate
life.
the little things in life. But then that's the thing, though. I feel like school can't teach us everything, and that's calm. But I feel like there's just some things, like teaching us how to think about the world and how to just view ourselves that's ignored. I think that's where this mental health shit comes from, because there's a certain aspect of ourselves that we're neglecting, and then this thing's kind of developed.
You know, guys. To anyone listening, like, if you do feel like you're alone, or
Kill yourself,
or you feel like
there's 2 people that'll be listening to this,
or you feel like anyone listening to this, if you ever feel like you're not quite sure what's going on with yourself, don't be hard on yourself and just be real. Like, if you're hurting, get help. You can contact people. And like me personally, I sometimes feel like I have insomnia, and I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to speak, because I just feel like you either get medication or they try to sort out a problem where I don't really have one. And it's sometimes it just feels like I understand how maybe how difficult this situation is. But just make sure that you always try to get help.
For real. Or you can be like me and
Be
don't
like
do that.
I've got really messed up view on suicide, so I'll let the balance guy have it. But that's a debate for another day.
Honestly, I don't even think, like, if you wanna kill yourself, right, for real, like, if you really wanna do that shit for real, and you have no regret, right? Alright, cool.
Bruh.
Nah, for
Guys.
Breach.
No, hold up.
Listen, I'm gonna be the one guy here.
What we mean by that? I fully believe
there's a helpline.
There's
alright?
a
helpline. You should always seek help
but
before.
Hold up. Think about it. I say, right, if you really want to do
contact me, because these guys be
maybe
like,
I'm suicidal.
promoting suicide.
I'm not
promoting suicide. Seek for help first.
Listen, I say, if you're about it.
Amen.
I say, this is probably like advice, but I say,
preach.
Go to your closest friends, tell them why you want to do it, and speak about the problem. Because the moment you start verbalizing it, put it into and like telling someone, then the moment you realize how dumb it is. But if you still want to do it, then
it's not necessarily dumb.
Suicide is
go seek help. Go seek help.
I said, look, there's nothing a therapist can't do except give you medication. Talk to somebody first, and then try to actively make yourself feel better. But if you still can't do it,
no, it's a serious topic though.
Then that's you, bro. Like, just think about all the bad shit. Think about how you're gonna make everybody feel, because death is really fucked up. I know a few niggas that have died, and that really fucks up you, like, everybody. That's family, true. Friends, relatives.
Suicide really is selfish, but sometimes you got to think about yourself.
Exactly. No.
Not even no.
Wait.
No.
I agree to the wrong thing.
Don't sleep.
I'm just saying.
I think if you're gonna do it,
you're gonna have us speaking with these cops.
Bro.
I just think there's always another way, and I understand. I really do that. There's situations where people really suffer. It burns a hole through your heart,
and pain.
You're broken, right? But I just feel like I've seen people come back from like undespicable places.
Same.
And it's doable, and they're still struggling, but they're on a journey for a better life.
It gets better. It might not be perfect, but it gets
better.
Guys,
I noticed it. I was in a super dark place like not long ago, and whilst I was in it, I was like, you know what? There will be a time I'll look back at it, and it will get better. And it does.
It depends.
It really does.
It depends.
And it's not perfect now. There's so much shit, But
when we were kids, right? When we come across inconveniences, we think, "Damn, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna slice my wrist."
That was not me, bro. That was you. That was not you, my guy.
I was saying, when we like come to like,
I just went to my room, got angry, maybe hit a pillow once.
I've I've come to talk to you
Bruh,
again.
maybe.
Itai came back for his race. He's like, yeah, bro, this is it.
Nah,
I'm saying,
it depends.
when we're kids, right, when we come across like really tough situation we've never been through, right, we always think that's the end. But the older you get, you realize it's not it. It's just not it. Death is a simple solution to a complex problem.
Yeah.
And you know, you just gotta live through and just figure it out, because you might miss one of the greatest opportunities in your life.
That is so true. You know,
Fun-
there's so many. I feel like life can be really shit, but it's worth living for those moments
Facts.
that you experience, because those moments are worth 1,000 lifetimes sometimes.
Because it'll be that one moment where you stumble on the staircase and you see the girl of your dreams. You get me? And you could have fucking...
I wonder who this guy is describing.
I wonder who the fuck that is. But I'm saying, man, there's always those little moments that make you appreciate
For 99% of
First
people,
step-
I would say listen to them, but nah.
hold up.
It depends.
Hold up, man. I feel like if you're depressed and sad and shit, stop it.
Oh my god.
Honestly. No, for real. Because hold up.
You're sad? Be happy.
Exactly.
What the
No,
hell?
for real.
Yeah.
What are you doing with
No, for real. Cause,
by the mic?
no, for real, man. Like when I was really down in the dumps, I mean, I hit low point one time in my life. But
we know about that.
I hit
low.
low. I hit the low
You miss
point.
Blondie type. You missed him.
I went through blonde. It's like fucking my. I went through so many different phases, right? The thing is, right, the moment you try to make it better, try to lift yourself up and just think to yourself, it can get better if I try, and give yourself that mindset, things will just naturally fall in place. It might not be the best, like in that time period, but the more you keep going, the better it becomes. Like, look at me. Like, I'm not fucking mental, but I got money now. You got me. I'm not poor.
This guy has £2 on his bank account.
I got £2, but
He's happy.
but I'm happy, man.
I think it depends. I think like
You
it's
have
very,
to lift yourself
like,
up, my niggas, for real. Cause who's gonna come save you? God ain't.
I
Your
agree for
money.
most people. I just don't agree
Your
for
bitch
me.
ain't you.
I don't agree with you guys. For me, I don't agree. I would say find your purpose. And for most people, they're alright.
There is no purpose,
I feel like
nigga.
you don't have to put that pressure on
No,
yourself.
there
I feel
is
like
no
live your
purpose.
life and things will, like, people always feel like they need a purpose, right?
These people
So they
reading
will
their
feel
feelings.
empty. There's a lot of people that feel
Facts.
empty out there. Live your life. You're not going to, like, if you're not, look, I don't know what situation you're in right now, but appreciate what you have. Because I know people
very
that
true.
go to sleep and they're not hungry. They have food. They have a roof over their head, and they don't appreciate it. I learned to appreciate that more recently.
Facts.
Where I go to bed, I wake up and I'm like, look, life's not that bad.
See, I'm not
Wait,
like
wait,
that.
now that I think
but
about
I've
it-
seen, like, I've been.
Now that I think about it, should we call the podcast the pillow talk?
No.
No, that's lame.
so
No?
gay.
Ah,
Look
okay,
at you,
okay.
Jesus Christ.
Now I disagree with them to an extent.
I have one rule. I got one saying. That
This
I
nigga's
live by.
cringy.
I'm not even cringy. I got one saying, but
I
it's
disagree.
philosopher, right? Do not take seriously what the gods made for fun. This whole life shit. If a
He's
god,
atheist. He doesn't even believe in God, but
I'm an atheist, but it's a good saying though. You shouldn't take life too seriously because then it just fucks you up like real bad.
Yeah, man.
Take the first girl you love. You took that shit seriously. Guess what happens? It fucks up. It always fucks up the moment you take it too seriously.
You're literally just a speck in the universe.
Facts.
And just understand, I'm not saying, you're insignificant, but I'm just saying just realize that things aren't as deep as they seem.
Facts. Remember, everybody that you know will die and you'll be forgotten. So enjoy it.
If you make a wrong choice in your life,
Guys.
it will lead to something else. Life doesn't just stop. You know what I mean? Things just keep
No.
going. I felt like that. I chased one thing for many years, and when it stopped, it felt like everything was falling apart. But I just realized. I realized I was like, like my mum told me that. If you fail that test, if you don't get on that team, if you're not, like, you lose that friend, life doesn't just stop. You grow, something else is out there. There's people you haven't met in your life yet, and they will will change your future. There's so much ahead of you. And I met these two guys. Well, how many? I've known Ita for how long? How long have I known
Like
you
2
for?
years.
2 years. I've known Leo for about 3.
2 days,
Yeah, 3.
3 days.
And you know, and I feel like that's even those two people have made a massive impact on my life. I've became more interested, for example, like with Leo. It got me more into music. I've started to appreciate things more, and I enjoy music more since I've met him. Yeah, I've been talking to Itai, and I've realized
cringe.
And you know, I just feel like it's about appreciating and realizing that there's stuff in the future.
I don't know, like I hear all that is cool. But for some people, that's cool. For some people, I hear that. I don't know. For some people, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Bum niggas like Leo, right? Bum niggas like Leo.
Hate it.
Like,
just end yourself. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hate it.
This is me.
No, here, I'm gonna really consolidate my point.
Let's give Leo a go.
I live by one simple rule in my life. Like
suicide's good.
It's not that. I have one purpose. One thing I really like doing. Well, it was two things, and then it was really one thing, just through two different mediums. And I just want that in life. Yeah, having a nice girlfriend, having a nice wife, you know, that's something extra that I would like.
Same.
And makes me it makes me complete, whatever. But like, I never lost my the end goal, my end idea. If I can have that, to me, I've completed life. Like, it's not, suicide, but to me, it's like, I don't really, there's the good and the small moment. I just, regardless of life is good, bad, I don't really want to keep going. And it's just like, I wouldn't call myself suicidal, because I can think about it in a very, maybe somebody might, you know, so maybe a psychiatrist, or I don't know the correct word for it, might be like,
it's an obsession, G.
But yeah. But that's my purpose. After that, I don't really need anything much, you know. I always wanted to make music. It was football for the longest time ever. I always wanted to be something greater than I am, you know. Like, I know. And
I think that's the problem, though. Like, because Martin was like...
I know. It may be for some people.
Let's hear what you just gonna say.
Because I'm thinking, like, because Martin was like, you don't need a purpose to be living.
Not like, everybody does. I do.
No. But that's the thing, though. I feel like when I was growing up, I really wanted to be a chef, right? And I did the most for that shit, right? And I thought that was my end-all be-all, right?
Still can't cook.
I can cook. Like, if I really want to, I can cook. Fuck that shit. But I thought that was my end-all be-all. But the more I kept living, I realized you really just have to be flexible with the shit, because life doesn't work like that. You can't just have like clear-cut goal. You have to be mentally flexible.
Yeah, it's good to have goals, but you know,
you have to be open-minded to shit. Like, because if you have like a rigid view of what you really want, you'll never obtain it, because that's not.
Like, that's compliant. Do you not feel like you put too much pressure on yourself? Do you not feel like it has an adverse effect on your mentality when you won't achieve it? See, this is what we mean.
Wow.
Like,
when you don't achieve it.
No, we're saying. Like, look, if you don't achieve it, do you not realize that the whole build-up of all this, that's why it will lead to a very big
regardless of if I achieve it or not, you know, like, to me, it's just, I don't really want to do anything like else. Like, I could say I'm okay, smart, hard work, and all that, blah, 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 blah. That's it. So regardless, I'm happy. I lived by what I wanted to do. Yes, I did some everything else. I see the side missions. I did some side missions to, you know, fulfill my role as a good student of the world. But then I'm just happy. My purpose is finished. Now, if somebody really sat me down with suicide, I'm like, oh yeah, suicide's selfish. Yes, definitely. You got to think about that. You're gonna affect the people that care for you, the people around you. Yeah, but like, sometimes in life you got to be selfish. Now, I'm not promoting suicide to everybody. This is my case. Every person has their own case.
You're promoting it to a certain extent.
Himself.
I'm just saying where I stand and why I disagree with them. Like, I don't disagree with them in, like, to the generic person, right. But that's just how I am. Honestly, that's just how I'll build. That
is honestly, like, maybe for you that sounds correct. But I think, like, for most people...
It's not about being correct on it. It's about finding the...
For your point of view, that sounds alright. But, like, I think... excuse me. I think generally, right, people...
I can only talk about myself. You know?
Yeah,
I know there's people that like, oh my god, my pen went out, and then... Or maybe people that have actually problems, and they can move past it. But that's something, like... I don't like using the word suicidal, but this is a thing that I had since I was 6. This is not a thing that I just woke up one day. I was like, bruh. I always thought, if this doesn't work out within a certain time frame, I'm completely fine with not being here because I don't want to do all this like extra life stuff. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, and sometimes I'm gonna trip and find the girl or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's not my main purpose.
But this guy's listen. Honestly, man, that sounds so unhealthy as fuck. But I think like
maybe it is. But like I feel like it's seen in such a negative way. Like
my nigga, you said. My only purpose in life is to do this one thing, but if I don't do that, I might as well just kick the bucket. And I'm saying, like...
Yeah, because I'm happy. I tried doing it, and it didn't work out.
But the thing is, for me, right...
But I'm happy. At the end of the day, it's about you finding your inner happiness.
This is like those fucking hardcore Catholics, like, my only purpose in life is to fulfill the word of God. I'm thinking to myself, no, nigga. Like... I don't think God will come
to you.
To me, yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, to me, right? I feel like the general way to live is. I don't think God woke up one day and was like, "Damn, let me go talk to Tommy right now and be like, Tommy, like, preach the Bible real quick, my nigga." You get me? I don't think God does that. I feel like if there is a maker in this, that, and the other, I feel like He didn't really give you a purpose except to live, because. We forgot all these random experiences, and I feel like this life shit, you only live it once. You only have one life. And once you're gone, you're gone. Like, even if you say, oh, this is my one and true purpose, like, there's more to life than that. You get me?
There might be, but man, it'll make some people happy. You get me? Like, I'm not saying everybody's like that. Like,
no, that's the thing.
I agree with you. I'm just saying with me,
no,
it doesn't really hit the same.
If you have this,
I feel like I've known Leo for a while, and I feel like no matter what you say,
yeah, obviously he's trapped in this mindset.
I'm not even saying he's trapped, but I feel like I don't like. I wish Leo the best of all this, and I obviously hope like what he wants to do. That I hope that happens, but in reality, I just hope that life takes him on a journey where he can kind of just. Get more happiness out of more things, because I just think that's important. Because
I feel like
I enjoy it. No, there's a misunderstanding that I don't.
Ultimatum, like
there's a misunderstanding that I don't enjoy, like that. I like.
No,
I hate everything.
I get that, but get that. In general, I just hope you get more happiness out of like life itself.
I also have another rule that's like. If I'm in that space, and I end up with like, there's only one exception, Sometimes I think of my mom like, wow, like really, I kind of, but at some point it gets to be selfish, like, and it is what it is at some point. Like, it's thinny. I don't want to think too much about it, and that really affects me. I only have one other route. If I'm with someone, and I have a kid or whatever, or something like that, then that becomes a responsibility and stuff like that. So I wouldn't kill myself when I have a kid. I just feel like at that point, I brought this person in the world, I got to look after them, whatever. So I have a few exceptions, but apart from that, yeah, I'm completely fine with it. I'm not saying it's the right choice for everybody.
Yeah,
and I agree. Like, listen to what these guys are saying, but it's like pain. Pain is subjective to people, and that's how I live. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean like I know it's hard for some people who may be suicidal or down or whatever. But that doesn't mean I live my life, like letting it like. Drain me or whatever, or like not doing other stuff, not trying to be happy or whatever, living like miserably. No, I do loads of stuff. I laugh all the time. I spend all the time, but like, I know my goal.
Man's at the lowest. I don't know what to start with now. But yeah, I think you're right on that aspect. I don't know what to agree with.
You see, you talk so much they get confused. That's the trick.
You talk so
say that.
No, it's just you don't know what to start off with because you fucking say paragraphs. I'm like, damn, where do I start now? But yeah,
I'm
agree.
Eloquent. If you're single, hit my line. I might change my idea.
Yeah.
If your name starts with a L and ends with a Y.
I think if you're someone like Leo, I feel
Lord
like
help
if you're someone like Leo,
if you can't tell, I'm kind of in love with somebody.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm still killing myself.
He had to say that on the podcast.
You know I had to. I got no shame whatsoever. No, I'm not.
Shame. It's
I'm
not dignity.
I'm not though. Nobody's probably gonna listen to this because too long. And there we go, like
my niggas, bro. Anyway, that's true, man. You just destroyed my hopes and dreams.
He was like, this was my way out the hood.
I'll try to divide it into clips, but like, let's be realistic.
I say, I feel like there's a certain age. I'm like 22 now. Like a certain age when you just, I know, old school. I feel like there's an age when you have to appreciate the smallest details now.
You
Like-
do appreciate your parents when you see them.
Settle for that butters, girl.
No, don't do that.
You see the hypocrisy though. You go to appreciate the small things, but you settle about the butters, girl.
Bro, you can
Like-
do
That's
that.
not appreciating
That's not-
small things. That's
just your case there.
I don't like butters, girl. All my
that's
girls
long
do.
term suicide.
Bro. When I first, what was I saying?
All my exes are tens.
What was
Yes,
I
sir.
saying?
That is cap.
At least
I
in my
can
eyes, in my
clarify-
eyes, in my eyes, in my eyes,
In my eyes,
in my
bruh.
eyes. He's
Oh, I
blind.
remember
Them
what's
Martin
They-
is actually a blind
They
man.
stick under 5.
In my eyes,
And not by age.
I love all my
was about
chicks.
to
I love
say,
all of my girls.
I clapped.
In my eyes, they're beautiful. Anyway, moving on.
I was saying.
Leo appreciates the clapped girls.
Honestly,
Don't be
what was I about to say?
This guy just struggling to get back into the conversation.
I remember.
I don't know what to say
Wait,
about
wait.
7 times.
I remember. You should appreciate. No, you should take as many opportunities as you can and not regret anything. That's what I was saying.
You wanted to say that for so long.
I was trying to say that, and then I kept forgetting because niggas just kept saying shit, and my mind was like, what? Bro, no, don't regret shit.
I mean, it is pretty late, I think.
Yeah, I need to do work as well. It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m. in the morning.
Well, guys, I think we should finish up.
That was a nice episode. In conclusion, you should kill yourself, Namja. Wow. Find who you are. Find who you are. Seek
Don't.
help.
No, there's no such thing as a you. Just enjoy it. Enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah, whatever the ugliest Negro said.
Live life and be
Live.
yourself.
Go streamline it.
Don't overthink.
Don't overthink.
and don't be gay.
God.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Be you.
Pause.
Be you. Do you. And enjoy the
If you
vibe.
fuck a boy, make sure you say pause afterwards. It's not gay.
Say no homo.
No homo.
No homo. No homo. Only homie.
Wear socks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. We're gonna call it a day. This was episode 1, fragmented of the. I'm not still sure about the London
Shit
podcast.
podcast.
Why can't we the shit
shit
podcast?
podcast.
Why can't we just call it the Simp University?
No, this.
Oh my god,
no.
never in my life.
No, the
Shit podcast.
Nah, it's not good.
Thank you for tuning into the shit podcast. Has a
Aye.
ring to it.
Mm.
And then
Simple.
goodbye. We'll see you in a
stinky.
bit. Fuck's sake. Simple and stinky. Right, that's it.